think both the parties
I will tell you.
understand that it is
I will answer that. What is the point of a discussion without a vote? I will answer that question.
Gentlemen, one at a time, because three people are speaking together right now.
When it comes to Chhattisgarh, when it comes to Madhya Pradesh, they are not even prepared to have a discussion on the
1 minute, Manish.
There it is the Public Accounts Committee.
Ajay is speaking.
And here, where the government is offering a discussion, you are running away.
Ajay is speaking.
We are ensuring that there is no meaningful discussion.
Ajay, would you reiterate your point, please? Because, there were everyone speaking at the same time at that point of time. I think Manish missed the substantive part of what you said. Yes.
See, what I'm saying is for both the principal parties, when Mr. Gujral says that let the court take over, I think as parliamentarians we walk away from a basic responsibility to rigorously debate issues. And like Jay said, we need to put it on vote and put up substantive issues on the floor of the House. We cannot, as parliamentarians, lead to cynicism in the country, saying that, listen, oh, by the way, let courts decide, then why have a parliament? So the issue is we need to debate it. However challenging it is, we need to get onto the floor of the House and then put it for vote and have substantive debate. Let it go for a couple of days, whatever it is. Let the country see the rigor of the debate. But walking away from debate is the biggest disservice we're doing to the people of this country.
Well, I think
we need to debate it. And I think as parliamentarians, we can never use, a term that let's leave it, we will not debate.
No, you are talking about cynicism. I'd like to point out here that I don't know if you've seen the Times Now report in which very quietly the Central Bureau of Investigation has given Mr. Kalmadi the clean chit after first saying there is evidence against Kalmadi. So on one page they say there is evidence, Kalmadi did sign the paper. On the next page they let him off. They say Kalmadi had no time and hence ended up taking perhaps the wrong decisions. By that logic, even Raja can be let off, saying he had no time and he couldn't go it for competitive bidding. So you talk about cynicism, Ajay, but there are some deep questions and concern here. 1 second, Dr. Mitra. Ajay, Atul Anjan, I want to come back to you. Do you support the demand for the Prime Minister's resignation? Do you think the BJP is being too rhetorical on that one?
Arnav, one thing is very clear, that this acrimonious debate which is going on, it is not only going on the television. All these things are being discussed on the streets. And this time the CAG report is not involved the Minister of the Cabinet of Manmohan Singh. Here in this report, when Prime Minister Mr. Manmohan Singh was also acting as a coal minister, such a huge, amount disappropriation case has been found. So I think the Prime Minister and the Congress Party and the UPA has a very specific responsibility to see that the Parliament functions, and all sorts of the explanations which has been given by Mr. Manish Tiwari can found the ground on in the Lok Sabha or the other part of the Parliament in Rajya Sabha. And here, Mr. Joy Panda, which he has given certain suggestions, I think these can be discussed. Otherwise, the Congress Party and the UPA has to give the response to the countrymen why the Prime Minister was involved and what is the answer from the Prime Minister.
Manish, tell me, in this case, it's not some other minister. The minister is the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is in charge from July 2007, July 2004 to November 2004, March 2005 to 2006. In between there is Shibu Soren. So A, the minister is the Prime Minister. Secondly, there is no apparent coalition compulsion, is there? Every time in the past when the Prime Minister has been asked the question, he says, there are some coalition. In this case, there isn't coalition compulsion. There isn't some other minister. Raja went even before the courts could decide. He was a cabinet minister. Allocations were made. So this comparison to 2G, or are the rules different when it comes to the Prime Minister?
Since Mr. Arnab Goswami, you could not resist the itch of getting into the substantive aspects of the issue.
The nation cannot get over the itch, not just me.
Now hold your horses, don't interrupt. Now don't interrupt, have the patience to listen to the answer also.
To debate, that's all, yes.
So therefore, since you couldn't resist it and we had debated it on Friday, but you want to, discuss it once again.
You said you were willing to debate another 10 hours.
Regurgitate the whole thing. Allow me to answer it. What is the charge? The charge is that non-auction caused a gain of 1.86 lakh crores to private players. I would like to ask those people who are making the charge, what were they doing from 1998 to 2004? Weren't coal linkages and coal mines being allocated under the same policy, which the government of India under the UPA decided to amend in 2004? I would like to ask the Bharatiya Janata Party, is it not a fact that 3 of their chief ministers objected on record saying that the policy should not be changed, no auction should take place?
But then
I would like to ask the BJP once again, that is it not a fact that except for 3 mines in Maharashtra, all the 57 mines which were allocated in non-Congress ruled states, and in each of the selection committee screening committee meetings, the representatives of those states were sitting. And the last point I would like to make, since you were itching to come to the substantive aspect of the issue, out of the 57 coal mines scrutinized by the CAG, given to private players, 56 are non-functional. So where is the loss?
50, it was 1 minute.
56 are non-operational.
Which precisely proves the point.
Which proves the point. If that is not visible, then what else is it?
Manish, that proves the point, doesn't it? That you give non-performing mines. No, 1 second. They are non-functional because they are not exploited.
I had answered this question.
Because they are not exploited.
I had answered this question.
Because they are not exploited. Because it's not given to serious players.
You cared possibly not to listen, or in the rhetoric you may have missed it. May I recreate and underscore it once again, my dear friend Arnab? The reasons why those mines are non-operational is because in most cases, even permission for a prospecting lease was not given by the respective state governments. In certain other cases, forest clearances were not given. So therefore, there are procedural issues as to why they did not become operational. But the fact that they did not become operational does have an implication on the loss figure,
and Manish, I am delighted. I've drawn you into the substantive issues. Because both 2G and Colgate are about massive losses for the state exchequer. Both affect the daily lives of people. Both are on the basis of the question of first come, first served over auctions. Only difference in one case the minister went. That's the difference as of now. Now Chandan Mitra wants to respond to you. Chandan Mitra is responding to you. I'm not. Yes.
Well, you see, it is very, very clear that the Prime Minister is directly in the dock in this particular case. As I was trying to point out amid the din, that on 11th of September 2004, a note was initiated from the PMO saying that, pointing out the disadvantages of allocation of coal blocks through competitive bidding. This after a committee set up by the Prime Minister himself to go into this had recommended competitive bidding. Then Secretary Coal immediately on 25th September refuted the PMO's note, saying there is no merit in the arguments that have been advanced and competitive bidding should be the only norm. But this went on till 2006, when the PMO kept tossing it back and forth between various committees, and finally the Department of Legal Affairs cleared in 2006 that said that coal mines should be allocated competitive bidding.
For a short period.
Now, the Prime Minister, however, the government did not, 1 minute, let me complete. The government did not act from 2004 to 2012, during which they kept on merrily allocating these coal blocks.
I have 1 minute left.
2006, every department cleared it. But this continued, saying that first you amend the MMDR Act. So this way they kept on delaying and allotting more and more coal blocks, and we know how much money went to whom.
Mr. Chandan Mitra, I don't think anyone's got their hands clean.
Mr. Chandan Mitra, how did you allocate coal blocks from 1998 to 2004? How did you allocate coal blocks from 1998 to 2004? Today you are shedding crocodile tears on auction. Please answer this question. How did you allocate, or how did your government allocate the 33 coal blocks, out of which 19 went to private players between 1998 and 2004.
No. No, 33, that was the policy then. After that, how many were allocated?
No, what do you mean that was the policy then?
So
therefore, what is good for the goose is not good for the gander.
By which time recommendation has come.
According to you, what is good for the goose is not good for the gander.
I want to point out. I want 10.
The recommendation for competitive bidding came in 2004.
There were 9 minutes.
And after that,
therefore, the recommendations for competitive
1 minute, gentlemen. Manish Tiwari and Chandan Mitra, I request for peace.
Implemented it. What did you do?
I request ceasefire. I request a 30-second ceasefire.
From 1998 to 2004?
I'll tell you what. 30 seconds.
I know.
How did you give the coal linkages?
I know the truth.
These are the germane issues for the debate.
Constantly
30-second ceasefire.
The CAG, and now he's even questioned the Supreme Court.
30-second ceasefire, gentlemen.
I'm asking you. You are not answering.
30-second ceasefire, Manish.
Answer one simple question. On what basis did you allocate those 33?
Who's being rhetorical, Manish? You know the answer.
Initiated the
19 to private players.
What?
NDA initiated the review process.
That's why you're running away from the debate.
Report came
because you don't have an answer.
Why don't you have this debate in Parliament?
That is why you're running away from
Why don't you have this debate in Parliament?
You don't have answers to
Manish Tiwari, 1 minute, please calm down. Calm down, Chandan Mitra. Calm down, Manish Tiwari. Please, I request you this. And don't get provoked by what I am about to say. I request you, but I am going to say something. Chandan Mitra, don't get provoked. As for my information, the coal ministry changed hands between 10 ministers in the NDA government. I'll answer Manish Tiwari's question. There were 10 ministers. From Dilip Ray, Naveen Patnaik, Syed Shahnawaz Hussain, Uma Bharti, Ramvilas Paswan, Kariya Munda, Mamta Banerjee, Ravi Shankar Prasad, and for a certain period between 1st of July 2002 and 25th of August 2002. I'm also told it was under the overall supervision of Mr. L.K. Advani. So, and it was the same process, which was the process which was criticized for a long period of time. No. It was also in this period.
That was the existing system.
So there is no virtue.
We initiated the process of review.
There is no virtue in the process you followed.
The system.
The point I'm making is, Chandan Mitra, there is no virtue in the process you followed. That does not take away from your right to ask why were these 140 mines given in this way. But there's no virtue in the process you followed. Have this debate in Parliament.
After categorical.
Have this debate in Parliament tomorrow.
Bidding, because
insist. Why don't Mr. Gujral? Mr. Gujral, I have 30 seconds left.
Let the Prime Minister step down. Let the Prime Minister step down.
No, he's not going to wait.
We'll debate before the people.
No, you're asking for the
debate before the highest.
You're asking
the land, the people, electorate.
Just because Chandan Mitra gets up and says it on Times Now, you think the Prime Minister is going to step down?
Exactly. You see, I don't know.
If you have a case, you are convinced about the case.
Why not?
Come and make the case on the floor of the House and be ready to listen to the answer.
Shoot is a.
You cannot shoot and scoot, Mr. Chandan.
1 second. We are getting 20 second, 15 second rebats from Ajay Kumar first. Ajay Kumar wants to say something. Let him come in. Ajay Kumar wants to say something. Let him come in. Yes.
Arnab, the fact is that both the principal parties were allotting coal blocks in a very flawed process. I don't think Mr. Chandan Mitra's defense is justifiable, saying that, listen, we followed a process which was followed later on, but and that process was extremely flawed. They also resorted to crony capitalism, and it continued. So the substantial part of the CAG's report is we need to have a governance structure in this country which eradicates the ability of people in power to give away natural resources.
But I'm
to meet private ends.
I'm with you.
Whether it was the NDA government or whether it was the Congress government, they followed a process which was extremely flawed, and they allotted natural the country's resources.
I am
in a very flawed procedure.
I am 100%.
Substantive argument.
I am 100% with you. I'm 100% with you. But you can reform the system only when you fix responsibility, can't you? You can reform the system, but you first fix responsibility on someone. Naresh Gujral, should there be a voting motion? Should there be a voting motion? A demand for a voting motion better than the demand for a resignation?
There should be.
Mr. Gujral.
Yeah, they should be. It should be, like Jay said, we should vote it on the floor.
My question to you was, do you support a demand for a voting motion instead of a demand for a resignation, which the BJP is asking for? As a compromise, perhaps.
I think NDA will meet in the next day or so to decide the future course of action. as of now, we feel the Prime Minister should resign, because this is not just a moral issue. It's been a huge loss to the exchequer. And scam after scam is coming out. Right now, you're only discussing coal. What about the airport? Look at the CAG report on the airport.
Huge.
So all these things are coming up. The nation, as I said earlier, the exchequer has been looted. So I think in view of what is really going on, it is high time the people of this country decide what kind of a government do they want.
Gentlemen, have a debate tomorrow. Everyone's going to listen to it. I commit here tomorrow. I commit here that if there's a good debate in Parliament on this subject, not only will we broadcast it non-stop, I also commit here we will play all important parts of that debate in our evening primetime programs, because we are committed to bringing the truth out on that story. Now, Manish Tiwari and Chandan Mitra, you're both excellent debaters. Why not debate in Parliament? Maybe Mr. PJ Kurian, with or without advice, might give you an opportunity. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Arnab. And I take you up on the offer to debate in Parliament. I do hope Mr. Chandan Mitra and everybody else would reconsider their position.
I hope that happens. I hope it happens, and we are proud of Parliament for that. Thank you, gentlemen.
After the election and debate.
Thank you, gentlemen. We're following the story. Thank you.